Hello, this is Chuck Thompson, Director of World Emergency. Please, no bankruptcy. You don't need to. Bankruptcy is not an option, especially since you now, as a city, have the greatest opportunity to make the contribution to the rest of the state and the entire union, to be a light and example economically and ecologically for the entire country. The corporations will sponsor emergency economic job training centers throughout the city, throughout the state, and be an enlightened example to the rest of the union. This will allow you to reconcile your books, whether you need 2 billion, 20 billion, and upwards, because the new revenue that will be generated by the economic job training centers set up within the city, sponsored by corporations such as Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's Department Store, Sears, will be more than enough needed to pay for what's needed. Police department, fire department, search and rescue team, federally, FEMA, Homeland Security, the CDC. These agencies will join up and be a part of these economic job training centers. They will give knowledge and understanding, information, guidance, and direction on what to do in a terrorist attack or threat or unnatural disasters such as what we have seen regarding Sandy, what we've seen in regards to New Orleans years ago, what we've seen, of course, in Japan a year ago. We now have the understanding of what is needed economically to reconcile the books of every city and state throughout the union. Again, the corporations will benefit greatly from their sponsorship of these economic job training centers, again, which will be housed by the local and federal authorities, working together side by side, giving the citizens understandings and knowledge on what to do and how to do in a terrorist attack or threat or unnatural disaster, training first, second, and third responders throughout the cities where these emergency economic job training centers are placed. Now, these new facilities will be a new facilities industry. This is where all of the revenue will come in. These facilities themselves, the centers, they run on their own renewable energy. That's right. They don't need to be hooked up to any grid. They are gridless, zero grid, green facilities. They run on their own renewable energy. And therefore, they will spawn a whole host of new facilities. Because around the center, parked within the parking lot structure of corporations, again, such as Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's Department Store, Sears, will be other small, single facilities, such as a home, a school, an emergency medical unit, an office, a portable farm. These facilities will be for sale to the citizens, to the corporations around the city, throughout the state, the rest of the nation, and the international community will come and purchase these facilities and have them shipped back. The exports will go through the roof. The news will be good news, not just for the local economy throughout the city or the state, but the entire nation. And it will be hope, an olive branch, if you will, for the international community, because we will be a light and example to them of how they need to get their economic, ecological house in order. And we're about to start within the city. The centers themselves cost around 8.4 million US dollars, but they will bring in about $100 million on an annual basis. That is each one of these emergency economic job training centers. For example, in California, years ago, we had 21 billion. I'm sorry, it was a $42 billion deficit. 42 billion. Now, theoretically, mathematically, we could have wiped that out without any federal aid if we simply set up approximately 420 out of the 480 cities throughout the entire state, bringing in the $100 million of new revenue for each one of these economic job training centers 420 times 100 million is 42 billion US dollars. Now I understand right now the city of Detroit doesn't need that much right now. Only 2 billion will do. That means that the corporations within the city, say about 100 corporations sponsoring these economic job training centers, can literally pay them off. But they will get 2 to 10 times more in return with the new jobs on the center, the new activity, the opportunities of the citizens in and around their location, their department store, their Sears, their Home Depot, their Lowe's department store, their Walmart. The activity there will be, as we say, off the chain. And the new opportunities will be greater because job fairs will be conducted in these facilities. Not just new understanding of terrorist attacks and threats, but new careers, new entrepreneurships will be set up, and they will be green jobs, all taught how to build and to sell on a global scale through the Commerce Department. Various, again, agencies, local and federal, will house these economic job training centers. And the understanding will go out to the various media, of which you will have a media station there, whether it's Fox News or OWN, which is Oprah Network, or CNN or MSNBC. Whoever puts up the biggest bid will have the opportunity to be housed within this facility. And they will, of course, get the news out to the citizens throughout the city, throughout the state, on what's going on at their various economic job training centers. Now, there's a lot within this proposal titled the WATCHMEN program, and it's spelled out within the publication titled Reconciling Us, a Revolution. Please bring me in. I'm looking not just for hire. Of course, you don't have to pay me anything. Just set me up, whereas I can bring in the corporations and bring in the revenue that the city, that the state needs at this time. And therefore, reconciling the books of the city and the state, bringing in the jobs, the new revenue that is needed. But more than that, bringing in a new industry that not just the city, the state needs, but the entire country, the entire global community, of which we'll be a light and example to. And one other thing, we will duplicate this success of these new economic job training centers, this new facilities industry that is zero grid throughout the global community by setting up these facilities on our embassies, our consular offices that we have around the world, bringing the international community in and giving them the knowledge and understanding that they need. And moreover, the colleges, the universities in and around the city and the state and the nation, the students, they will get a first-hand look on how these facilities are built, because they will build them. Now, the proposal is for the corporations that sponsors them. They will partner out with construction companies. Those construction companies will partner up with a local community college or a university or a learning center, a trade school, where the students will actually build these facilities. And that way, they have built-in jobs, built-in careers with these construction companies, or they can start their own construction facility building company and put in the new innovation. That's right, we're going to be new innovators all over again. As Detroit was for the car industry, now Detroit and Michigan will be for the new facilities industry. Please bring me in. Do not go to bankruptcy. You don't need the federal government right now. But I tell you what, the federal government needs you, because once this new facilities industry is set up, they will need Detroit. They will need Michigan to spread this new technology, this understanding, this system of green facilities, zero grid units throughout the entire nation. throwing money at you. You won't have to go and beg for it. Chuck Thompson, Director of World Emergency. Please contact me. 626-243-8200, Chuck at worldemergency.com. I'm looking forward to working with you soon.